Today in the art classroom we're learning about still life. Still life includes all kinds of man-made or natural objects, cut flowers, fruit, fish, game, wine and collections of symbolic possessions. Still life can be a celebration of material pleasures such as food and wine, or often a warning of the ephemerality of these pleasures and the brevity of human life. In the hierarchy of genres for art established in the 17th century by the French Academy, still life was ranked at the bottom, fifth after history painting, portraiture, genre painting and landscape. Still life and landscape were considered lowly because they did not involve human subject matter. In modern art, simple still life arrangements have often been used as a relatively neutral basis for formal experimentation, for example by Paul Cézanne, the Cubist painters, and Australian modernists such as Margaret Preston and Margaret Olley. Let's explore the vast variety of approaches to still life throughout art history. It's time for a tip-top term. Vanitas. Derived from the biblical verse, "Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity." A symbolic work of art depicting the transience of life, the futility of pleasure, and the certainty of death, often contrasting symbols of wealth with ephemerality. In Peter Claus's Vanitas with Violin and Glass Ball, 1628, a self-portrait of the artist is clearly evident in the reflection of the gazing ball. The open pocket watch alludes to the persistence of time, while the extinguished flame of the oil lamp reinforces the brevity of life. The violin, quill, and literature refer to the vanities of the arts and knowledge acquisition. At the edge of the still life arrangement, the toppled glass and human skull are a reminder of death and the eventual loss of all earthly pleasures. It's time for a tip-top term. Memento mori. The Latin to English translation is "Remember you must die." A memento mori is an artwork designed to remind the viewer of their own mortality and the brevity of human life. Symbolic tropes commonly used are skulls, hourglasses or clocks, extinguished or guttering candles, fruit and flowers. Memento mori is a commonly recurring motif in still life painting, most notably characterized by the use of a human skull to remind the viewer of their own mortality. This symbolism is even evident in the work of modernists, such as Paul Cézanne's Pyramid of Skulls, and Picasso's Goat Skull, Bottle and Candle. The Cubists were pioneers of the machine aesthetic, a hard-edged style that reflected the industrial world. Their still life artworks were sophisticated explorations of perspective through the fractured arrangement of formal elements. They juxtaposed detailed texture with flat blocks of colour, transparency with opacity, angular lines with smooth, rounded surfaces. These stylistic innovations were a response to the developments in science and technology which were transforming the modern world. It's time for a tip-top term. Trompe-l'œil, a French term meaning deceives the eye. An art technique that creates the illusion of a real object in a scene. The use of tone, texture, colour, light and perspective in Dutch still life painting is a prominent example of trompe-l'œil. A prominent cubist, Georges Braque, developed the approach of papier-collé, a form of collage that literally translates to pasted paper. In the summer of 1912, Braque purchased a roll of wallpaper with a fake wood grain texture, known as faux bois. He incorporated the mechanically printed paper into a series of charcoal drawings and transformed the idea of trompe-l'œil. Two Australian women, Margaret Preston and Margaret Olley, are champions of Australian modernism. Their still life artworks derive a range of motifs and stylistic qualities from art history. Preston developed a uniquely Australian style through the combination of Japanese, Aboriginal and modernist styles. The flat, formal composition of Japanese woodcut prints, the earthy hues and dot painting techniques synonymous with Aboriginal art, and the expressive, experimental approach of European modernists is evident in her works. Margaret Olley contemplates harmonious domestic settings in still life artworks that are reminiscent of Cézanne, These humble celebrations of everyday life are a simplification of the vanitas, reminding us of life's beauty. These are only a few artists and ideas relating to still life, which is an ever-evolving and profoundly meaningful subject of art history. Thanks for watching.